What's up? Welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacTheMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and we're going to get into Gen V, which went into a direction I wasn't expecting. I feel like I should have, but I wasn't expecting it, and I have questions now. So this is season 2, episode 7. This has audio description on Amazon, and let's go. So what had happened was on Gen V, when last we left off, Murray and Kate were headed off to school. They were going back into the Lion's Den to face off against Cypher, and Kate was trying to get healed, but Murray's like, "I can't trust you, so why would I do that? I mean, you just need me to heal you, and then I heal you, and then I can't trust you." So, but I feel like Kate passed the test eventually. Like there's a point in the thing where Murray asks her to do a thing, and then Kate has already sworn that she would never use her powers against them again, and she doesn't. So, much to Murray's chagrin at that point, because I'm sure she would have liked to have not. But so so they're trying to find Thomas Godolkin, which still sounds like a move that you do in Street Fighter, like as an answer to Shoryuken. Yeah. Godolkin. Um, so they everybody ends up trying to converge upon the school, and because they wake up and they find out that uh, they left the bunker. Marie and Kate are gone. So the rest of the kids, they leave Zoe behind, and we didn't even get a cameo this time around from Giancarlo Esposito. He wasn't even in the episode, but but they, I guess, borrowed his car. We didn't get to see that sequence, but they borrow his car. So, because not everybody can fly. And I forgot Sam doesn't fly, he just jumps effectively. So what he does is more of jumping. And so he takes Emma because she can shrink and he can carry her. And then they jump. So, and travel back to Vatyu. And meanwhile, Jordan drives the sister, who has gotten a premonition about her sister's death, and basically is worried. And then reveals through all of this episode that she'll reveal eventually in this episode anyway, that she did actually see her parents die before it happened. So she's had powers for a while, and she's been misguided and angry at Murray for this whole time, despite the fact that um, there's nothing that she could do about it. It was still going to be a crazy awakening for Murray, and the only way that you could have avoided that would have been to try to alert, and nobody wanted anybody to know that they had powers. So uh, anyway, Emma and Sam land, and of course they find Greg, who actually joins the fight for like the whole, like he's here for like the whole thing. After that, the rest of Emma's friends are not, but there's this dynamic between like Emma and Greg, which makes Sam kind of jealous. Meanwhile, some frat bros find Sam, and they're like, "Dude, you gotta keep up with the frat, man." And they hand him this uh pledge, who has like an awful power later on. He's a dumb name too. I can't remember what it is. You won't need to remember it. We'll get to that. Um, so Sam is given a pledge to lead around on a leash for the remainder of the episode, which does nothing. He has a totally useless power. They all converge eventually and find Murray is headed towards uh, they find out where she's headed anyway, and they pick up Polarity, and Polarity is, they think that the heartbeat that Murray's tracking at first is uh because it's a weak heartbeat, they think it's Godolkin, and they don't know where Cypher is. But it's Polarity, and because his condition keeps worsening, so Murray actually fixes him with Kate present, and suddenly he's back to like full powers, and is also still on their side, and is like still looking to help and to stop Cypher, because he's still against the idea of culling the herd, which was Cypher's big plan. So everyone else shows up, and Marie tries to get them to go away. And this is where Marie asks Kate, she's like, if I fix you, will you push them and tell them to go away? And Kate says no. She's like, I said I would never use my powers against you guys, and I meant it. So Kate turns down the opportunity to be fixed, maybe, but Murray doesn't fix her, and drops her friends. She does that thing where she can feel their blood and she lifts them off the ground. The same thing that she did to Jordan. They're going to have to break up at some point, because she's done that. Now this is a choice. Like, this is Jordan. Jordan was not being a puppet. So anyway, they're going to split up, and the girls go to find Godolkin while the boys stay to, and Jordan in this instance, for the sake of what I'm saying, is presenting as a boy. So they go and try to stop Cypher. So Polarity, Jordan, Greg, and Sam they all find Cypher. Meanwhile, the girls try to find Godolkin. So Murray, Emma, Kate, and the sister, whose name I've already forgotten, all go try to find that. Well, they try to find Murray first of all, but then they're all together. So gender split. And the boys have a hard time, because while Cypher has figured out that Polarity has powers and can stop the use of it, unfortunately he brought friends. So the fact that the kids are here is going to be a pain in the ass for him, because Cypher plays like whack-a-mole, where he hops between their bodies. So he keeps using the other three kids, Jordan, Greg, and Sam, to attack Polarity. And it takes Polarity a minute to kind of defeat them, and also to stop Cypher. So it does kind of lengthen the thing, but Polarity does a good job of not killing anybody and stopping Cypher. And while this is happening, Murray goes down and finds Godolkin, and is like, we need to stop Cypher. Will you help us? Godolkin nods, so she starts to heal him. And then Cypher's knocked down, and Godolkin is healed. And it's revealed here, when Polarity goes to kill Cypher, that it's not Cypher. And it's just some random dude who now is not being puppeted anymore. And Godolkin was behind it. There was never a Cypher. So Godolkin was using this dude as a puppet the whole time. So he can puppet more than one person at a time, I guess. Which is kind of a crazy power when you think about it. Because, he needed Murray to fix him, clearly. But all that stuff about her being the number one hero, it's really Godolkin, because he's now going to use because he can puppet multiple people at the same time. So he can cause a whole bunch of people to do bad things to themselves simultaneously. And that's kind of where the episode stops, is suggesting, like, we're about to have, can they stop the culling of the herd from somebody who has the ability to take over their bodies? So, and who has the ability to stop him. So, they find out Godolkin was behind all this to begin with, and suffered this fire, and then took over this guy. I can't remember what his name was. That Hamish Linklater's been playing all season. Very good job. And as soon as he's let loose, he's terrified of, like, and he kind of remembers the guy being in his body the whole time. I'm like, man, I thought there was something that was up with the relationship between the two of them, because the guy, it was such a weird relationship, because he was having, so Cypher was like beating Godolkin at times, but also taking the time to like, wipe the shit, like, and clean him and bathe him and those kind of things. So he's doing things that you would do if you were taking care of an elderly parent, but he's also like randomly beating him with a belt. And when you know that it's Godolkin that's doing it, it's like, why are you beating yourself? You're already damaged. Like, you're already like trying to live in a hyperbolic chamber to keep yourself alive. Why would you inflict more damage upon yourself? How does this help you? So that's the hot question of the day that I have for Godolkin is, you're kind of next to death anyway. Why are you inflicting damage upon yourself? It's like finding out you're in a video game and you're at like 1% life, and instead of trying to do everything to avoid it, you're taking jumps that you're like, that might get fall damage from that, you know. But you're at 1% life. If you take fall damage, you die. Like, it feels like Godolkin is not really healthy enough to have damage inflicted upon him. I think if and the crazy thing is that if because Kate can read minds, right? And that's in addition to pushing, can also tell things. If Murray had fixed Kate, Kate would have been able to read the mind of Godolkin earlier. So it's possible this whole thing could have stopped, but it's the perfect like setup of, you know, like the perfect little Jenga tower house of cards, right? Like everything needs to be in place in order for this to work. So Kate needs to not have her powers. We needed to not know certain things and make it happen that way. So yeah, but he doesn't kill any of Marie or any of her friends. Like, he keeps up on his half of the bargain where it's like, if you come back, I won't hurt any of your people, which I thought would be bullshit anyway, but he doesn't. None of them have, for what he's looking for, I don't see anybody who has a useless power. Especially, I think he would look at Emma and think that that's a useless power. And I'm like, is it? To be able to shrink and grow? Is that a useless power to you? Because she can also grow. And like, that's Ant-Man. She's basically Ant-Man. Ant-Man's an Avenger. So to him, that would be a useless, I don't believe that. Obviously, if Kate was fixed, she wouldn't have a useless power. Sam is clearly OP. Jordan was originally number one, so I think he sees some stuff in Jordan's abilities. So I don't know that that flight on its own is necessarily, but maybe. It's certainly not a bottom, I mean, it's not compared to some of the other kids in school, compared to what happens to Sam's pet when he goes outside. So Godolkin eventually leaves because the girls run away when they realize what's about to happen. They get out of there. Marie is spent. So the girls have to help Marie get out of there. And Godolkin walks outside wearing a diaper and first of all sees Sam's pledge, whose powers are that he can change his feet into hands. Like, he really is the worst sex man. Like, he really, like, it's just that he can have like opposable thumbs on his feet, basically, is what it is. And so he can use his feet as hands. Like, and he's like, well, that has to be like a bottom 10%. You have to be ranked in the bottom 10%. He's like, actually, I'm ranked in the bottom 2%. And so promptly that kid dies. He uses his puppet powers to have that kid strangle himself. So, like I said, you won't need to know his name. I don't remember it. He was, it's not important. His power is stupid inherently. I don't think he needed to die over it, but like, why is he at school? Like, what is he training for? What is the usefulness? I see oh man, if we could only have somebody who had hands on their hands and feet, we would be able to stop the terrorists. Like, what is he ever going to be used for in any sort of superhero scenario? Like, why is he at a school for superheroes? Even as a sidekick, like even as a marketing thing, like what would he do? So, um, pubic hair one is weird, but I can see it. Like, I mean, she made it useful. I don't know how he makes his powerful, how he makes his power useful. So I fear for pubic hair girl. I don't. She may be the one. I would disagree with a girl who can copy any power for 60 seconds because you copy the right power for 60 seconds and suddenly you are number one. I mean, if that girl is standing next to Homelander, you have two Homelanders for 60 seconds. So just remember that. Like, hot take on that girl's power. So, mimics are intriguing people who they're weak when they're not mimicking, but if she can keep bouncing between superheroes, she can be really useful on a team because she can keep borrowing powers. You know, she can borrow that person's power and then hop over there. She just has to train in everybody's power. But she seemed to be able to use Emma's really quickly. So I don't think that's not a useful power. We'll see who Godalkin kills. Um, my prediction was of the people who won't make it out of the season, I was worried about Emma's new friends and I was worried about Polarity because Polarity, since Chance Perdomo is off the show, they don't need Polarity anymore. But now that they've fixed Polarity, it makes him, you know, will he, and he might because he still blames Godalkin, which now he knows Godalkin is Cypher, for his son's death. So he might be willing to kamikaze himself to save the rest of the kids. So I don't know. I mean, Greg got a little bit more screen time, and his power is not really a combat power, unless it's matched with super strength. Maybe Greg could die. I still worry about the two girls, but we'll see. I don't think anybody is really up for elimination. I don't see any of the main characters. But maybe Marie's going to lose somebody close to her out of this group. Unlikely, but I mean, the boys wasn't afraid of killing off anybody, but they did I mean, they did lose people in the first season, and then at the beginning of this, they had to lose Andre because of Chance Perdomo's passing. So it's possible that they could kill off somebody. I just don't know who it would be. Kate is looking for redemption, and her powers don't really work. And it's possible it could be Kate. Like, Kate could end up sacrificing herself. I think she's one of the more interesting characters because of this, like, am I good or am I bad type of thing. But she's also the kind of character that feels like while she's trying to earn redemption, she would end up losing her life. So we'll see what happens. But next week is the finale. And how many people is Godalkin going to kill? Are they going to be able to stop him? I still argue Marie's powers are fantastic, and if they can just revive her, she can do the same thing that she's been doing to everybody else with the blood, and she can explode Godalkin real easy. So, and if Polarity is able to keep him out of Marie's body, those are the only two heroes you need. Like, that's it. No one else. We need no one else from this team. Everyone else go hide, run. I know they won't, but run. So, we'll see. Yeah, I like this episode. I'm still looking at around like a 9 for Gen V this season. So in terms of my score eventually, we'll see. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you guys on the other side.